Hey guys, hope you're all well. Seen the title. Yeah, we done it again. I have already opened this, went through it. Looks like everything's there. I don't think anything's missing, but I think seller said I had 10 days to let them know, but they also said they're not going to warranty any of this if I put it together for a kit, but oh well, whatever. I've went through it all. Quality's a lot better than it was, say, 2 years ago. I can't guarantee every kit's going to be that way. So I've already went through it. All the plastic looks good. This is a steel ms440 kit. Seller on eBay selling them. You can get it here in the States. The price is less than $10 cheaper than what you'll pay from Hudsel, and you don't have to wait 2 months to get it. I don't know that waits that long anymore, but the two saws I bought and done, and I bought a lot of parts from them. It was a kind of hit or miss back then. I'm sure it still is, but most of these parts look pretty good. I'm not scared to use them. Crank looked good. I've already got it in the freezer. That's how I'm going to assemble this bottom end, I suppose, is we're going to freeze the crank and put the cases in the oven, get them up to 225 or so. Hopefully it just slides right together. If not, we'll come up with some spacers and washers and pull it in. But that said, handle looked good. Whoever had assembled it, they didn't put the throttle linkage in it. Some people I've seen the kits it was missing in. It is in this one. It was with the muffler shield and stuff. For some reason all we got's off and on. Even if you squeeze the trigger, you got off and on. No choke. We'll have to figure that out. I'm sure it's just something simple, no big deal. Because it does look like everything's there. Our plastic, I've done got it out and looked at it, did come with the HD air filter set up. I'm not going to pull everything out, just what matters. You'll have to excuse the dog barking, he loves to bark. We did get a dual port muffler. It looks really similar to what would be on, like, say, an 046 mag. I'm sure they did make an 044 mag too. I don't know, I'm not real familiar with it. I do own an 046 mag dual port. I've used it to mill lumber with. If you're in something smaller than 20 inches, does awesome. You can't stall it. Just an awesome old saw. This handle, remember how the Farmertec handles used to be really flimsy? A power lifter. I'm a real big heavy guy, pretty strong. I can't even flex the thing hardly. And I am pushing on it. So I'm not afraid at all to use that. We're getting attacked by a light cord. I'm not going to get all the bolts out and everything. I've done went through them to make sure everything I know that needs to be here is here. Top cover plastic, as usual with Farmertec on a steel, they don't have the bushings. We'll just make some out of brake line. But the color of the plastic looks good in the finish. The fitment on my 066 fit good. I'm sure that'll be okay. I have had to grind a little off the bottom of them before to get them to clear on other saws. Trying to get to the parts that matters. I know there's just bolts, and that actually 90% of our bolts. Box had the crank in it. Flywheel, I've done checked it out. The keys in there with it. There's not all the flashing that you used to see on the cranks or flywheels. It's good and smooth, has a nice taper. All the parts is in the chain brake assembly. I'd seen some of the other guys, the little lever for your chain brake and the spring that keeps it from flopping was missing. I didn't really care if it was, because there's probably half a dozen of those laying here somewhere, even a new one somewhere, but it's all there. Like I said, I had the HD air filter set up. That's great. The only thing I don't like, and I will change later. Pro level saw, we got a damn spur sprocket. Really, your Farmertec, you could have done a little better than that. All of our rubber, I've used that before. It's rubber, it's fine. These covers, I have one on the ms440, the first one we done the pop-up in. I've cut a lot of wood with it. These things deflect chips really well. There's never any build-up in that cover. Same one, I ordered it from Farmertec. What else? Starter cover is magnesium. I'm throwing stuff out of the box. That is how you lose parts. Not sure what it was. I'm sure it's something we will need, but I don't like the ropes in these. I'll leave it till it breaks, but it is magnesium. Finish on it looks good. Now you've got your typical Chinese guts in it. It's a hit or miss on them. I'm gonna move this box now. What I'm looking for is right there. Here. Like I said, I've already had this out. Just mainly look at it all. First thing I'll get into is the cases. I've already looked at them. I've done a couple of these saws. Sold them both. Parts on them were not very well. I've done a 372 kit. I cut quite a bit of wood with it. I kept having problems with the cylinder sealing. It ended up being the crankcase halves wasn't really. They needed decked. They needed put in a mill or a lathe and decked. They didn't really line up that well, and you had to run like a 30 thousandths gasket for it to seal with glue. So we sewed that saw. It was sold as a runner. I probably cut, I don't know, a dozen truckloads of wood with it or so, and then got my money back out of it, so I done alright. This one I've done checked. We've got a good flat deck. It'll seal just fine. Okay, one other thing on these cases. I'm not going to pull them apart to show you. You can take my word. I watched several people that assembled these, and the dowel pins were just kind of falling right through the cases, and they were having to glue them in. These are not that way. They're pressed into the flywheel side. You'd have to take vice grips or something and pull them out. So that's a plus. That's a good thing. And I'll just tell you the quality of this particular cylinder. I could bolt it right on and run it. And it'll take you off the tripod once I get it out. The ring fitment inside of it was even good. And the piston fitment is great for a Farmertec. The piston, I've sat and looked at it. I've not got a magnifier out or anything and looked at it up real close, but just eyeballing it, it is daylight to dark difference from the last Farmertec piston I got. Quality is great. We'll know more when we go to put the piston pin in and fit it to the rod, but it's right up there with the highways and the meteors I've been getting. I wouldn't care a bit to put that in. Hopefully the squish ain't a mile off when we go to check it, but I'll have to pull you off the tripod here. I'm trying to shoot this kind of quick because it is a little cold out here. The only thing I don't like about it is there's like 4 little casting lines on the top of the squish bend. I may or may not sand those out depending on how thick they are and how bad off the squish is. But the ports on this thing look really good and even. All the bolt holes. Sorry if I'm shaking. Everything in it just, it's not bad. I've seen OEM that looked worse, and the plating in it really looks good to me. And it does go all the way to the squish band. I've got these things before in the past that the muffler bolts were probably 1/8 of an inch off and crooked. These honestly look straight. Don't get me wrong, it could be a pure dud when I go to put it on and blow up after half an hour running it, but I don't really think we're going to have any problems. Normally I'd order a set of cablers and put in it, but these rings have a really good stiff feel to them, and they felt like they grabbed the cylinder real well. Those of you who've built engines will know what I mean by that. So this is just an introductory to this. This thing will be fully ported. We'll take material off the cylinder if we need be. I hope we don't need to take much, if not any, off. Like I said, looks like we've got everything here. I've got 10 days to figure that out, but yeah, if you want to join me on this, I welcome you. I'll try to get good detailed videos. Anyway, any questions you can throw them below. Why I picked this, I could have done a 372 cheaper, but I'd already done a 372. Said it ran cut wood with it, but there was just no way of making good big power out of it without taking those cases and having them decked somewhere. Sellers on eBay, I don't really remember their name, just search it. I had it here and I ordered it Wednesday. Today's Monday. Better than waiting 2 months. Anyway, this is video 1, I guess. We're going to try to use all the parts that came with it. No OEMs and no other aftermarkets. I've seen people pop those Chinese seals out only to put Chinese seals back in. Makes no sense. We're going to assemble them warm so the seals shouldn't flip. You'll know what I mean by that if you've built a saw. Anyway, gonna end this here. You're welcome to follow along if you want. Don't know how many videos it'll be. I'll try to get into as much detail as I can. We may make a separate video on the port work alone. We may not, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching and have a good one.